Talking change, talking all that's real, with Francis Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to end. And if you've got something to share, pick up the phone, turn it up. Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all.
Welcome, brothers, welcome, sisters, welcome to our program On Target. Remember, we're on We Noise FM 94.9 in Brooklyn, New York. We're also on Real FM 91.9 and 91.5. And we're on YouTube and Facebook. And you can subscribe. You should always subscribe to our program. That's very important to us. Share our program, like our program, and subscribe. And even if you don't like the program so much, share it with your friends, because they too may want to know if they like it. On our program, we always believe in the truth. Over the years, we have observed a number of personalities on radio propagating lies, and we decide to stick with the truth. And we open ourselves that you could correct us. If you hear us say something that is not the truth, correct us. Because we are not speaking with a script. We're speaking spontaneously. And we encourage you to speak with the truth. We don't generally go after politicians personally. And we don't want to tell any lies on politicians. Politicians naturally do things that you would have to comment on. We firmly believe it is better for government if they provide information in a ready and timely manner. Once you have the history of providing information, the public would trust you. When the public don't trust you, and the public believe you have something to hide, rumors and speculation going to run a while. And you would have to be playing catch-up game. You're running behind rumors to do damage control. So we want to advise the government, change your policy, change your attitude, start to provide information, answer the questions that we are asking. We've been asking the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest to live up to her promise. You promised Deborah Charles. You promised Deborah Charles. Deborah Charles was as poor as you. You used to sit on the same school bench and you trick her. You deceive her. You lied to her. And then you promise her you're going to address the situation, and you lied to her again. It is so sad when you do that to somebody who sat on same school bench with you. It is quite true you have gone on. You have done well in school. You got opportunities in university. You did your master's degree. Deborah Charles was not so fortunate. And it's the only difference between you and Deborah Charles was your father. Your father had some clout. And Deborah Charles' parents did not have no clout. They faced the great fire in which 3 of their members, even what they did not have, was destroyed. Even what they did not have was destroyed. and 3 members of the family lost their life. That should break your heart. She come from the poor of the poor. She paid a lawyer. The lawyer must watch and realize she ain't had no money. This is not the days of Derek Knights and Benson Douglas and Carl Hudson Phillip and Heliger and Sylvester. These men would have loved to take the case. But these lawyers now, they would not be interested in the poor of the poor. What you expect to do? Life have a way of turning around. Years from now, Deborah Charles' son or grandson might end up with your granddaughter. You never know. And when she hear you are related to her, she going to give her son or she grandson the history. Why? Why did you shaft the farmers in Maribor? Over 20-something years, the farmers in Maribor was getting water from the government source. They shared the water with the government for over 20-something years. There is water running. And you, the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest, line up with the Minister of Agriculture and all you cut off the water from the farmers in Maribor. How unconscionable. Where is all your heart? Who the farmers will turn to? In yesteryear, Derek Knights and Benson Douglas would have glad to take the case. But most of these lawyers today seems to be in Dickens' pocket. And they don't work for free. When they do pro bono, it's because they expect a lot of political marks on it. Your action is unconscionable. Why? Why is it you serving as a medium for hate to grow? The parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest, you come from the poor, just like Deborah Charles, just as the individual from Maribor, the farmer, his wife, his children, and 20-something other farmers. You take all the water from them, and the water is just flowing. It's going to waste. It's going back in the river. And the Minister of Agriculture join you and cut off the water. Now, when the people in the diaspora to ask you all questions, you don't have to believe me when I speak, Because when I speak, I dare and I challenge. I intone on. Ask the Minister of Agriculture what the farmers in Maribor has done to him. Ask the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest what injustice Deborah has done to her. She take back the land and give it to somebody. Deborah paid for the surveyor. And she paid several payments to government. Government have her money. The payment she made. And they take back the land from her. How that could be right? How that could be fair? Simple because she don't have clout. She the poor of the poor. if you continue like that, that is why they used to burn down the plantation in yesteryear, you know. When watermelon flower, the people used to rise and burn down the plantation. When Eric Gary come on the scene, those are the cases he used to deal with. And he used to give the people free legal representation. Derek Knights was the man. Derek Knights would have visited the people at the home and hear the cry and take it on. He said, I never make money in law, you know, because I fight the companies. We have some crooked companies in the country. The parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest. I hope your children hear my voice and ask you, is it true, mommy? Is it true that you deceive and trick Deborah Charles? And she used to sit on same school bench with you. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre. How are you today, sir?
Great, man. Good.
Yes. Well, I got regular listener to your program, but I find I does not hear you encouraging the young people that on your program you just be saying that don't want to work. Every day you're hearing people calling for people to come for and look for work. There is work available, but I never hear your station encouraging the so-called people that can get work, as you are predicting, to go and look for work. I wonder why.
Normally,
encourage them to go and get themselves employed instead of they depending on government to give them tea, breakfast, and dinner. I find that is what that you should be focusing on that. And I used to hear you talking about the teaching your children to play music and learn to preach and thing in the holy part of your program. But I don't hear you saying that again. All right, I'm looking for your response.
yes, scholar.
Yeah.
Scholar, every day I hear people say, instead of they waiting on government, you know what it costs for a government to provide a scholarship for somebody to do a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a doctorate? Maybe over $250,000. It costs over $250,000 for government to provide money for island scholar. They don't even come back in Grenada. And the government proud to say, I give how much thousands of scholarship. But when the poor man wants a daily bread, we scoff at him. Caller, that is going to cause violence. We're going to increase social decadence. We're going to increase social crime. You're going to find more fire and burning down the place. Look at the St. George's Hospital. It's the first time I hear that in all my life. They're afraid gang violence. So they're stopping people from coming in the male surgical ward. Caller, years ago, I said the violence going to increase in Grenada. What you think going through the mind of Deborah Child's children when they see the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest deny them a plot of land? But the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews gets scholarship for her children to go to university. What you want them to do? Burn down the plantation? Caller, how do you think the farmers in Maribor feeling now? How do you think the farmers in Maribor, for 26 years, they got water from the government station? But today, under the corrupting chief, the parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northwest and the Minister of Agriculture cut out the water source. What you want them to do? Burn down the plantation? Who hears the cry? Color 70% of the people that exit school cannot find jobs. They don't have what it takes. They don't have the talents. They don't have the skill to get a job. You think the teachers concerned about that? They're failing the children. Color, the teachers and the educators are maliciously failing the children. You ask them about jobs, do they have the skills for the jobs available? Do they have the skills for the jobs available? Ask the police. How much young men we have here that not going to do the police exam because they're convinced they cannot pass. The women go and pass easy. Some of them have the car and the boyfriend mashing it up. The boys cannot go and get a license because they cannot pass the exam. Color. The big farms in Grenada, M&N, and other farms and construction companies, you have to get a police record to get a job. So some of the young men, they have come afoul of the law. So they're not going for a police record. Color, they're not going for a police record. They can't go. So they can't get a job. Color, a lot of the security, government has increased the employment in the security service. But you find more women having jobs. Some of the boys have to get a cell phone and an ID card and a bank account, and they can't get it. Color, what you want them to do? Burn down the plantation? That is what was done yesterday. We're setting a trap for ourselves to have increase in violence. The men outside there that can't get a job, they don't have what it takes. You have to have a bank account. Color, the National Insurance Scheme, I'm certain, have collected millions of dollars. But the people that were paid, the employer paid for the insurance, have no record of their name. So the NIS collect their money. But the NIS say they don't have their name. So when these people fall sick, or when they reach the age of retirement, they have not a cent to get. Although NIS been collecting the money. What you want these people to do? Go inside NIS office fully loaded and kneel down and pray that everybody transcend to the great beyond? What you want them to do? These institutions are powerful. And they're maliciously doing things that disadvantage our people. They are the colonialists. They are the neo-colonialists. They are the capitalists in the society. Not the white man. What NIS doing is a criminal act. Now, who could take an NIS, Color? Me? I can't take an NIS. They're too powerful. You think they listen to me? No. The unions have 2 representatives on the NIS board. They don't care because they believe these people are classless and commoners and culturally literates. What you want them to do? Burn down the plantation? What you want them to do? If those that in power, those that have the authority, those that could make the change, are setting trap for our people, what you expect them to do? Color, I hear a number of those intellectuals asking for reparation money. The black man sold us in slavery. The black man sold us in slavery. If Deacon get a chance, he's selling all them poor NNP in slavery. Let me repeat that color. The corrupter in chief, poor people terrorists. If he gets the chance, he's selling the poor people in slavery. And he go have me cousin Blash go in and hunt them down. Color, I've been very critical of the Public Workers Union. So they believe they start to practice retributive justice. You ask me about music, Color? Maybe you're tired. I've spoke about that a lot. Maybe you're tired. I've been going after Nutmeg Association and Cocoa Association for decades, begging them to stop being agents of the NDC and seek the farmers' interests. I do not criticize people if I don't come up with 2 or 3 suggestions. And I don't necessarily believe the suggestions I offer could work. But I offer them to provoke discussion. And I've made suggestions to the Nutmeg Society how to gain millions of dollars from the international community in grant aid and to help the farmers here. Yes, Scholar, welcome.
Yes, up there, good day.
Yes, Scholar, welcome.
Yeah, the Prime Minister is saying he's the most transparent government we have. So one thing I would like a question I ask you asking, how much was the quantum for the gracious offer Pierre on? Because I don't know if the parliamentarian could ask that question there, because I think that's supposed to be public knowledge. Because you say give a man a gracious offer and up to today nobody know how much is the gracious offer. That's not transparency. So he had to let the Ghanaian people know, the taxpayer people know, look, I give on $15,000, $100,000, $10,000. Let you know that, so then people say yes, you're transparent. But he say you receive a gracious offer and you're so happy for being fired. The first time a man fired and he was happy. He fired, but he received a grace of offer. You got to tell people why this was. And the guy who called and talk about the work and thing, you know, I don't know if you don't listen and follow the Prime Minister say, once you know who you from, you don't get any work. You have to be on the yellow side to get work. So that what he tell people. So take care, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, sir. I like that. How much money for the gracious offer? We heard is 100,000. We don't know, and we've been asking. How much money for the sweet spot? We didn't hear how much. How much money was given for number 10 to jump fence and call Jab to take picture? We heard was 160,000. How much money you spend on the excessive traveling and even going and visit countries secretly? How much money? Who are the ministers and directors that obtain money from the Grenada Development Bank illegally? Mr. Corrupter in Chief, tell us. We don't know. We asking questions. We was depending on the doctor of journalism and the photogenic one to ask those questions to us. Since you're not answering the questions, rumors and speculation going to run wild. And my cousin Blash can't help you. Because what he could do is to bully and threaten and lie. Cousin Blash, Nutmeg Association is a powerful body. They invest millions of dollars on their friend's name of nutmeg money. Yes, Scholar, welcome.
Good day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Not every day I club back.
No, man, sometime you must come in and spin a ball like Bonner Julian. That might have helped West Indies.
Good topic, good topic. I heard a caller speak a while ago Mr. Pierre, I think like he don't recognize what the leader said. Most people not going after the job because his own leader said, know your people.
He said the only reason why NNP getting help is because they don't know the real NDC.
And now he want to say there is jobs. Yes, there is jobs, but for who? The majority of jobs is for who? That's the important question. Mr. Pierre, I want to say it again and the listening audience. This is one of the most selfish, corrupt administration whatever passed in this country. No love, no consideration for the people. First time I see a government could be judged in 3 years. The people could judge this government right now. Because they're sure where they are heading for. They show their policy. So the electorate have no headache. No headache. They show their failure. Look, let me go back to St. John. A major disaster where a village was in such a problem, is in such a problem, where they cut off on the movement. A prime minister who is the minister of infrastructure take over 2 weeks to go to visit these people. When I find out no love for the people, they say there's a lot of NNP in that area, so they don't hurry. They have no other choice. They must attend to them, but they're not busy. This is why I always say this government divide the country. The leaders show division. Whereas he have to be the prime minister for every human being, every one of us in Grenada, he's our prime minister. But he tried to divide us. Right now on the grounds, there are gentlemen told me he could give me 26 different failure of this government. I say, give me bit by bit. He said, I just hear you on target. I go give you about 26 area where this government failed. Now, I really appreciate. Imagine that same government demonstrate against the location of the St. David School after Mr. Pierre, as Minister of Education at the time, negotiate funding for that school. And they had a little problem church-wise. Location, they had to shift the location. That same administration demonstrate against the location. So do the hotel. When the projects come to reality, they want to take praises. Grenadians, you don't have to hurt your head. We have no other choice but to change this administration. Anyone challenge me, I have facts for saying that. Thank you, Senior.
Yes, yes, scholar. The gentleman speak about music. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar.
Mr. Pierre, when number 10 was with a minister and an MP with an MP, number 10 was a shining light for other young people to get involved in politics. But after the election, darkness shine in the face of number 10. And that darkness has shined in number 10. It comes with some baggage. The love of money and corruption. What she sees herself. She don't see people. She see herself and seeking her interest. The people that vote for her for she to win her seat, she turns she back on them. And she'll care about them. What she seen or what she saw, when she get a bribe, is the money she saw. She don't see people. And I want to say to the people of Greater Caribbean Diplomatic, when you vote for a candidate and for them to win, and they jump ship and they ignore you, never put your trust in them again. How could you support them again? Because they don't see you, they don't care, they don't see you how they see themselves, and they don't see you. They see money and the love of money. As one guy said, the love of money is the root to all evil. Money is important. But when you love people, love money more than they love people. You know what happens? They do anything for money. And what I want to say again to the Grenadian people: check the voters list. Make sure your name, your family name, they on the voters list, and every one you know that's living around you, see the name, and any look at also either the names on the voters list, the people that are there and they not living in Northwest. If they are Grenadians and they go and they come and for years and they come back and they live here for 1 year, okay, yes, they can vote. But they must live here from any Commonwealth country. They must live here in Grenada for 1 year, for 1 year, which is 12 months straight, for them to vote. Because they say who there in the kitchen feels the heat, right? Because a lot of people they oversee and they will come and go. They will come here, they register and go back, and when election they will come back and vote. To put a government that really people who there in the kitchen feeling the heat want to get rid of. So say have a blessed afternoon.
Caller, let me give you advice. Once you name on the list, when election is called, nobody can stop you from voting. Once you name on the list, if people protest your name just before election, that is going to only be addressed after the election. So if the NNP want to sit down there and sleep, and the executive of the NDC, of the NNP, do not study the voter list and make objection to the names, no. Say ye. What happened? They have no one to blame. Let me repeat that for you. Are you talking about 1 year in the country? That don't make no sense. Once you name on the list, whether it come on the list because you spend a year or you spend a day, no one can stop you from voting. They could make objection. That would be dealt with after the result. So let me repeat that. The NNP executive, now here they call everybody watch voter list. The executive have to get people in each polling station that they train how to look on the list, to go and look on the list. I don't even know how to go and get the name on the internet. And I don't have no time to look at no damn list. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, I know all that. Then
the caller.
Yeah.
Caller, if you know that, don't play with it. Let them know it's the NNP executive members and the coordinators in each polling division. So if you have 7 polling divisions in a constituency, the NNP have to train people and make sure the people know what they're about to go and look for the name and address it. Not me. I don't even know how to go and get the names on the internet.
I involved in that. I know that. I to be well saying there's something that I know about it. You cannot get if elections to call, right? And once the government they ring the bell and that's the name of the list or the voters list, they have to vote. We have to do our work early, right? I know all that. What I'm saying, and so that was actually called. We cannot wait until last. We have to do our work.
Well, this
early.
call you throwing out there is not for the rank and file persons. The rank and file people don't know nothing about that. This thing is for the executive members of the NNP, and the minister in every constituency supposed to have 3 or 4, 5 persons in every polling division that they train how to do that.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. Me and the same scale. That's what I'm saying.
All right, thank you.
Do, right?
Once we do the same scale, thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, right. No problem.
The number to call is 442-0175. The gentleman asked about music. I've been making noise about music for the last 30 years. Not only in Grenada. The Caribbean government have failed us. The CARICOM government must teach music in school. All the teachers that have any modicum of education knows that over 200 years now, the scientist tells you the benefits of teaching music in school. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre, listen. Teachers, talking about teachers, they are person that get a walk. Half of them doesn't have the logistics. Half of them doesn't know the difference between standard ground, sugar and science out. Now, I take them very serious enough because I hear the Prime Minister, he never been a fall going up. Never. And he come and say the project in Cloger go cost $1.6 million. And all them that stay next to him now don't even say a word.
The average.
But, Mr. Pierre,
there is a destination.
Mr. Pierre, no, you're laughing at me.
Why want me say? Deacon line when I went horse trotting. Anything Deacon say, you have to take with a pound of salt. Prime Minister lying too much.
Mr. Pierre.
If he say 1.6 is 5.7.
I don't want to go down that road, but because we have to go there because Deacon Mitchell knew nothing about the revolution. But he look at that where we had to go, you know. He come with a draconian law, and all of them, they had to go like full soldiers. He say, Pierre like a mother hen chicken behind her. But he's like a what?
That's what he learned. He got
like a dog.
He got that from Maurice Bishop. Maurice Bishop used to call Eugenia Charles Mother Hen. And he used to call Tom Adams and them Yard Fowl. So that is where Deacon got that. Because the grants and them was related to Deacon, and they was supportive. So that's it.
Mr. Pierre, no, don't go there now. Related, they adopt him.
Well, yeah.
That one is better than people.
Yeah. He come up petty bourgeoisie. Because he was
40 years ago. And tell him, why you ain't go on Wall Street? Go on Wall Street. Then we have to back to go home.
Yeah. If he go there, he'll be properly protected. He said he gave the police big guns. Yeah. Yes, caller, thank you.
No, don't cut me off yet.
No, I don't cut you off, I just start you in.
Cut you? No, I see. You're laughing?
Yeah. No, sometimes you have to make a joke at serious things, you know, because you can't get too emotional and woke up, you know.
No, I'm not getting woke up, you know.
Yeah.
Woke up is a man that has to be here or he die, but for me, tell them when they come in, come good and come clean. Because me, chemistry, you know, half a Grenada,
The entire Grenada doesn't even know. They don't study them things in there. They don't study that. No. Tell them, study chemistry, and then they could talk to people like me. Because when I come in strong like a lion.
Yeah.
Because me ain't even going to closure. Because see Delma makes itself like a something. Mr. Pierre, have a good afternoon. Eh?
Yes, scholar, welcome. Yes, I was saying, show how the Caribbean leaders are contributing to some of the problems we have in the country. I've said repeatedly that in Grenada here, we could do much better. In 5 or 10 years, we could make a big difference. The productivity level in schools are unacceptably low. Every excuse the teachers want, they want a holiday. Pay attention to what's going on in school. They seem to be more interested in the pussification of our young males than teaching them to be successful. Now, if 70% of the children that exit school cannot meet the minimum requirement to be competitive on the job market, how you going to find jobs? It's not that jobs are not available, you know. They don't have what it takes. And every day we're making it more complicated. They have to have a bank account and a cell phone. They have to have a police record. A number of these boys already come afoul of the law. Now, we dig in our own grave. Even if you live in gated communities, when the violence level rises in your country, you will be affected. Whether you're a lawyer or what, you'll be affected. Your children will be affected. Your daughter going to marry not married. Your daughter might have children for my son that is a bandit, and vice versa. So it is in your interest to contribute to the development of the country. If the Prime Minister believes that some people is classless and commoners, I mean, when did we reach there? The level of injustice that you're seeing in this country, I have never seen it before. And you have heard me speak about the revolution. And Bishop was a criminal. But some of the issues they would tell you was because of ideology. They claim you want to turn back the revolution, use a CIA agent, etc. But today, Deacon is advocating that they must not help NNP supporters. And some of the NDC militant say let them starve. Let them pound stone in the river. When the leaders speak, their supporters follow. I said repeatedly that Deacon Mitchell incited violence in the country. Both he and the Minister of Legal Affairs, they incited violence. They was well supported by Tevin Andrew. He said he cursed the police, you know, and he beat in his chest. And he was able to get policemen transferred. And a little sister from Gob, she followed. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good day.
Yes, my brother.
I just heard you mention that Bishop was a criminal. Mr. Pierre, I wouldn't support you on that. I would not support that statement from you, Mr.
You want me to tell you why I say that?
Why, Mr. Pierre?
You want me to tell you why I say Bishop was a criminal?
Yeah, tell me.
I'll give you 5 reasons. Maurice Bishop signed the order for over 3,000 people to go to prison without charge, without trial, and without an opportunity to defend themselves. Maurice Bishop promised the Rastafarian that he's going to legalize weed. And then over 300 of them was kept in concentration camp in Hopeville. They say it's a cow pen, but Maurice Bishop call it Hopeville. Maurice Bishop sanctioned and knew about the castration of people in Grenada, but the case I always refer to is Broco, because this one make the courthouse. The execution of the sister in Broad Grove, Maurice Bishop knew about it and he closed down the investigation. The women from the north that they walk on the back while asking them questions, they were lying on the ground and a PRA was walking on the back.
Okay.
The villages of you want me to stop?
That's 5.
You want me? Okay.
Mr. Pierre.
Do you not think that,
allow me to speak now?
Okay.
Mr. Pierre, you said 5. Mr. Pierre, Bishop knew nothing about what you mentioned there. Most of this thing was done by men around him. You know that. Bishop was a nice guy. Bishop had loved the people. So when all what you're mentioning there about Bishop, Mr. Pierre, is untruth. And we have to educate the people.
Caller. Ask Mr.
Yes, Mr. Pierre.
Ask Mr. Tillman Thomas if I'm telling lies. Caller.
Okay, what law was we ruling under at the time, Mr. Pierre? Wasn't the people law? We ruled by decree. So you expected those stuff to be happening. We had suspended the Constitution, and we did that. We didn't do that.
That's why Bishop was a criminal.
He wasn't a criminal.
Bishop supervised more crimes in Grenada than slavery and colonialism. After slavery and colonialism.
Up to now.
He was a criminal. He was not a hero. He was a common criminal.
But at the time,
when Bishop Sidney Charles, pressure take Bishop Sidney Charles, and he go to Bishop Gary, he went to Bishop to have a meeting. Bishop will tell him come to the meeting 2 o'clock, and when 4:30, Bishop Sidney Charles waiting, Bishop cancel the meeting.
Hey, Bishop.
Bishop had meeting with the trade union movement.
At the time, don't forget, Gary was doing a lot.
We ain't talking about Gary, we're talking about Maurice Bishop. We talking, Bishop was a criminal.
To talk about Bishop, we have to go from there to Gary, because Gary was becoming a dictator. He had Mongoose gang going around beating up people. Why you talk about that? Why you talk about Gary beating up people? Gang in Monkey going picking up people and brutalizing them.
Then Carter, why Maurice Bishop didn't take the matter to court? That's why I tell you, it was a bunch of lies. Because Bishop, listen to that. Maurice Bishop had a battery of lawyers with him. And if they was good, why they didn't take these matters to court? Answer that.
The revolution was inevitable. It was important at the time. They had to take over the country.
All right, okay.
You know that.
Okay,
and look at the progress. I don't even talk about economic growth and development that took place.
Remember the statement I make. I said Bishop was a criminal. And you took his caller.
I will never talk about that.
Well, I offer you 5 reasons. You have to stop me. 25 are you want to give?
Watch me.
I want to give 25 reasons. Caller, you know Bishop hid behind women and children? You know that Bishop hide behind women and children?
That is not true what you're saying, man.
What do you mean? When Maurice Bishop was on the foot.
What Bishop had done to you hate him so much? Mr. Pierre?
Thank you, caller. Caller, thank you. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre,
Yes, caller, welcome.
what is these guys and I'm talking about Gary and Mongoose Gang and they don't know one bit about nothing. They just taking propaganda and run it down the road and talking about education. They're trying to educate the people. They should just shut them out, go back and find out from the people that was involved what it was and what it was all about. And stop carrying on with this kind of a propaganda and trying to spoil people's name. They just know heck about what went on. The trade follow those that get into it. Look at Bishop. What happened to him? What did his father? Gunshot. What happened to Bishop? Gunshot. What happened to Bishop's son? Gunshot. The seed you sow, you reap the harvest.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes,
Pierre.
scholar. And I encourage people to talk about it, and I encourage them to take me on it, you know. The most time they have to run, they can't stand up and talk. Yes, scholar, welcome. You there, caller?
Hello?
Yes, scholar.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, I listened that person's talk about Bishop and the revolution and whatnot. But you talk about the suspension of the Constitution. Who was the leader that agreed to suspend the Constitution? It was Morris Bishop.
Morris Bishop.
We talk about the Rasta men. Before the revolution, Bishop used to be in Montrich and other places. And he promised the Rasta men that they would legalize marijuana and give them the okay to do what they're doing. When he got power, when he seized power, forcefully seized power, when they started to plant up and do the thing, he arrested them and sent them in Hopeville. Right? Now, when talking about the atrocities of the revolution that a lot of people don't like to talk about, and many of them who speaking, ask them what happened to their very good friend Ralphie, who used to go around and putting pamphlets in people door on behalf of the New Jewel movement along with the revolutionary people. And when they took the power in which he helped them in what he did, he was sent to prison. Ralphie died in prison. In prison, the people that come, they could not make out Ralphie. Ralphie was slow poison to the point that Ralphie's voice, which was loud as a lion when he speak, he roared like a lion, got humble as a lamb and was like, me, Ralphie. People couldn't make him out. He was slow poison in the prison. There were persons' balls, Mr. Pierre, that was slashed and pepper was put in it. You know, that's something people don't understand about this revolution. Grenada and every man, woman, and child was placed under curfew. And the instruction that was given by the revolution was to be shot on sight. So if you had the old woman that had to go to the latrine to pee and she was seen outside, she would have been shot. If you have the little child that had to go and pee outside, he or she would have been shot. That is what we had from the revolution. A matter of fact, before you reach to that kind of thing, you had Kaunda warning Bishop about his thing. And where did he tell Bishop his enemy was? He didn't tell him he was in the GLP. He didn't tell him it was the Gary Riser coming after him. He didn't tell him it was the so-called, quote-unquote, Mongoose gang. He tell him his enemy is in his footstool. Who was in his footstool? The same comrades. Morris was no hero to the Grenada Carrico and Pity Matnik. There was an election that took place before the revolution. And democratically, the people voted for the GLP. Morris and his party lost after they would have joined up together. After he would have come together and joined with the Korites. When you had the NJM and all of them coming, they had the New Jewel movement. And they lost. The people of Grenada is who voted Sir Eric Machugeri and his GLP party. What happened after that? A couple of years after that, Morris and them take over with the gun. And as they take over with the gun, 3 years after, they die by the gun. There's many more I could say, but I will listen
Yes,
as they
scholar,
come.
thank you very much. And that is our last scholar for the day as we round up. And we want to encourage people to hold these discussions. Many people were affected. There are some people that want to make you believe the revolution was all glorious. And I'm not saying they did not do good things or they did not have ideas. But I'm saying the end did not justify the means. And if Deacon say that he is accountable, then we're calling on Deacon to answer these questions, address this issue. We want to know how much money Ron got for the gracious offer. We heard it's 100,000. We want to know what much money was involved in the sweet spot. We want to know how much money was involved in number 10. We want to know about the excessive traveling of Deacon and the other members of the government. We want to know, we want him to give us an account for the 50 million for the 50 years celebration. We want to know, ask Deacon how you felt when he was chastised by the governor of Lagos State in Nigeria for sneaking in his country. We want you to give account for the 100 low-income houses in Carriacou. You know what you said. Tell the public why you changed your mind and what you're doing with the house. We want you to know why you fired the whistleblower, Mr. Lacrette, over the national lottery issue. Those things important person know that. We want to know how much money you made from being an agent of the CBI program. Some of this money have to be belonging to government because you use government time. It's a conflict of interest. We want to mount an investigation, an independent investigation into the activities of the Grenada Development Bank, the National Lottery, the CBI program, gravel and concrete, the $118 million from the insurance program after burial. We want to know about the farmers in Maribo. What is the situation addressing? We want to know, Mr. Prime Minister. Ask the parliamentary representative of St. Andrews Northwest about the plight of Deborah Charles. Mr. Prime Minister, have a press conference and let the police tell us about the bomb in Telescope. Have a press conference and let the police tell us about the shooting in Granans. And Mr. Prime Minister, tell us why, what is the justification for closing down the visitation in the medical section, male medical section in the hospital. Do you understand the impact of that? That you have to shut down the hospital, a section of the hospital to the public in Grenada because of violence? Mr. Prime Minister, we beg you that your action was inciting violence. You and the Minister of Labor and the other ministers, you all is directly responsible for the upsurge in violence. Mr. Prime Minister, you have to investigate the corruptor in chief. We're back with you tomorrow between 12 and 1 when you have another opportunity to punch. Thank you very much.
You there, on target with Francis Pierre. Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real. With Francis Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to end. And if you've got something to share,